this webinar, we aim to foster a collaborative environment.
Then we'll be discussing about why MoJo and the relevance in today's world. In MoJo Kit, we have just 2 or 3 things. And B-rolls are, the supporting visuals that you will do with your story.
Make your mobile into that gadget which will help you like everywhere.
It is a very convenient equipment. You can carry, even if you are on holidays, wherever you are going, whether you are even climbing mountains, you can carry a phone.
You don't need an iPhone 16 or something to shoot videos, because I have seen a lot of people, what they say is that I have an Android phone, I don't know whether the visuals will come great or not.
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar on MoJo reporting. I'm excited to welcome Sehar Qazi. Sehar is a photojournalist and documentary filmmaker based in Kashmir, India, and she has been actively involved in directing short documentary films and video stories since 2020, and she has focused on themes like mental health, social justice, gender and culture, and she has also participated in Google News Initiative and YouTube Creators Program, which empowers journalists with digital skills and tools to engage in their reporting capabilities. And Sehar will be today sharing her insights on mobile journalism and its impact on our overall reporting landscape. So we'll be discussing tools and techniques for effective MoJo reporting, understanding overall mobile journalism, and also challenge faced by women journalists, especially in the global south. So after her presentation, we'll leave floor open for questions and discussions. And through this webinar, we aim to foster a collaborative environment, so please feel free to share your thoughts and experiences throughout the discussion, and I look forward to an engaging session. Sehar, over to you.
Hello everyone, my name is Sehar Qazi, and the things that Alia discussed about me. So basically I'm here to share those experiences. Whenever I was selected at the Google Initiative Program, or I did some trainings with the mobile journalism. So I'm here to empower you and train you to basically use your mobile phone to make use of digital technology in a better way while reporting and doing stories. So starting with the first thing I will just start is the workflow. We all know, we have read here and there that, the MoJo workflow and what do you mean by MoJo workflow and how does it work? Then we'll be discussing about why MoJo and the relevance in today's world. And third thing that we will be discussing about is MoJo and reporting sensitive stories. So as you can see in the picture, when we talk about MoJo, we all need to understand that mobile journalism and MoJo does not mean that you have to carry some kind of heavy equipments, you have to get some heavy equipments with you, you have to purchase things. It consists of what we called as is MoJo Kit. In MoJo Kit, we have just 2 or 3 things, which is one is your mobile phone, second one is the tripod, third one is the mic. And sometimes you can even carry a small light, depends on the story that you're going to do. So some of the important things that we need to understand when we shoot with a mobile phone. So coming to this slide, it is basically, when you see at the right side, it is a picture inside a cafe. I did this story last year in Ladakh, where just giving you the background of why I am showing this story in this presentation, why I am showing these pictures in the presentation is because what you see in the right side is just a random shot, and what you see at the left side is as you can see, it is like person is speaking, means that I'm interviewing this person. So coming to the background of this presentation is that I did this story. It was a place, a food place, a restaurant based in Ladakh, which was owned by a woman, and the whole team was only, there was no male, there was just woman. And what they were doing was, they were conserving those traditional foods that are related to the region. So basically, there was this conservation angle was there was this gender angle. And when I went there, I the most important thing that you have to do when you plan a story is you have to make a visual representation of whatever story you're doing, which is called a storyboard. Simple. We are not going into high end things that, this webinar is just to make you get started, to encourage you to do things that I do. I also have a camera, but mostly I will do the stories. I prefer to do stories with mobile phone. And that is why this session is here today, to make you understand why I do what I do and how you can do it. So starting with the storyboard, a visual presentation you have made in your mind that these are the shots that I want to do, these are the interviews, and going to the place. That is it. Thinking about the shots, thinking about the people you want to interview. A visual presentation you will make in your mind in some paper, note it down. That is it. This is not something that is complex, that is complicated. Now going to the place, you went to the place, there is a restaurant, you have to do a video story on this, or story, whatever, photo story on this place. Okay, so when I entered the place, मैंने अपने दिमाग में सोच लिया that these are the visuals that I want to do, these are the shots that I want to take. The right side I included in a B-roll. There are people are sitting, people are chilling, people are talking, they are busy in some conservation, they are busy in some conversation at this place, and just showing the essence of this place. As you can see, the roof of this restaurant, it's all wood. It was basically a very old building that was placed in the middle of the market, and they were doing really important work there. And what you see, her name was Radha. She was the co-owner of this place. And when I went there, I was like, okay, fine. How I will segregate my A-roll shots and how I will segregate my B-roll shots. Simple. I made a storyboard. I went there. I did my recce. And then I started thinking about my shots. A-roll shots, simple. What audio will you take and what will be the interviews? Let's make it very simple. And B rolls are, the supporting visuals that you will do with your story. A mein, I when we talk about shooting with a camera, most important rule that you have to understand while you're composing shots, that is the rule of thirds. You always see those horizontal and vertical lines while shooting. Just do it after this session. Just try and do shooting on the intersections. What I did in that story, what I did with the interview of the Radha, I shot it with the intersections, where intersections were meeting. It is, the grid is on your phone, the grid is on right there, and you will see how your visuals will dramatically improve, and they will look different. So I made Radha sit there. Why? Why was this location important for me? Was because at the background, you will see these tiny, tiny things. They were all, made in Ladakh. Because, just to build a sense that this place is doing what it is doing. This place is, conserving some, presenting some local food to the tourists, and they were really enjoying. This place is one of the famous places in Ladakh, and one of the important things that they serve is khambir. which is again a very local bread in Ladakh region. So in the background, I saw, okay, there are these soaps that they make, or there are these socks and different things that they make in Ladakh. I made her sit there. Simple. My A roll shots were sorted. And always remember that audio is important. Visuals, I told you, visuals are there. But what makes a good video is audio. You can search it anywhere, the importance of audio, and see how you can improve it. I told you initially, when you are setting up your Mojo kit, you need a small mic. I started with a small lapel mic, and believe me, on Amazon, it is for just, I think, for 150 rupees or something like that. Then I moved to other mics, because audio is very important when you're talking about any visual story, any video story, when we are doing things on mobile phone. My A roll was set. Now coming to the B roll, as I told you, I tried to capture the essence of the restaurant, of the people who are sitting, who are discussing. There are paintings, there are books, there are photographs, which I used with that video story. And then, last but not the least, now I have the A roll thing in my phone, I have B roll. I will write a script. I have interviewed this person. I'm writing about this place. This is an old building, and the interviews I have. I'm just writing the script of whole of the video, and that is it. Believe me, it just took me one day to do this. And with time you will see that when it's quick, it will just take you some minutes. When it's a long form story, that it will take you some more time. So that is it. Shooting with the phone and everything, that is there. We are done with the shoot part. We know the A rolls now, B rolls, storyboard, storytelling completed. Now moving to what we call editing. Nowadays, most important, editing. Last year, I made sure that if I didn't do anything, but two things I made sure with, I promised myself that there are two things that you have to do. One, learn editing, and second, learn some other language other than English. So coming to the editing part, I used to search everywhere that कौन मुझे editing सिखाएगा. I tried to enroll in some classes. I tried to see who can teach me editing, and when I enrolled in some courses, I told people that I want to learn this. Got connected with a documentary filmmaker, and he taught me and some other people editing. What he taught us was DaVinci Resolve. He told us that he had been using Premiere Pro for 10 long years, and now he had moved to this new software called DaVinci Resolve. So if you don't, and it is the softwares that I have mentioned here, editing softwares, whether it is DaVinci Resolve, VN, Canva, InVideo, which is I will talk about this later, but I'm just telling you that these are the editing softwares, and they are absolutely free of cost. You will not have to spend a penny, and you will get great results. People are switching from Premium Pro to DaVinci Resolve. I mean, people who have used Premium Pro. So now coming to DaVinci Resolve, because we are all professionals here, and you are my fellows over here, and we are already doing some kind of important work. What I want you to understand is that let's begin with let you guys start with something, start with VN on phone, and then move to DaVinci Resolve. Why DaVinci Resolve? Because when we talk about Premium Pro, it is an old software that has been used since many years, and it uses the CPU wherever in whatever device it's used. But when we talk about DaVinci Resolve, it uses the graphics. It will use the graphic card in your device, and which makes it, there are less chances of it getting, stop, or your video getting stuck somewhere. So it's very smooth, basically. तो वो एक ग्लिंच, द टेक्निकल ग्लिंच का इसमें, एंड आई हैव बीन यूजिंग इट. I told you initially only that what I am sharing here is, I have not read it anywhere. I am talking out of my experience here. So when we talk of DaVinci Resolve, this is the editing panel that is in front of you, because it's very difficult. We have not that we have limited time in this webinar. Otherwise, it would have been great to, explain each and this is the editing panel. You will just download it and you can just, look into it. It's not something, it's not difficult. This is the editing panel where video one is written, and everything is done there only. You will, everything is on internet, and I think if you will sit with this software, I think you will learn it in just one day. And believe me, professionals are switching to this editing panel and doing things on DaVinci Resolve, and you will and finding some really good visuals out of this. So start with DaVinci Resolve, keep doing it, download it. It is right there, and learn from the tutorials. And then moving back to the VN, you can just download it, within seconds in your phone, and start editing your videos yourself. You're reporting for a story, your everything is recorded on your phone, and you are putting it right there. Some days back we went for a photo walk. I took my camera with me, I took my photo with me, I took my mobile phone with me. And when I reached home, within some minutes, within some hours, I uploaded my thing on I uploaded my reel, from and photos from that I took from my phone, right there on social media. And believe me, I think that reel got some 4,000 or something views. And I got some followers, people are reaching out to me, and I got some followers also. It was just because I clicked on it on phone, and people started reaching me out, people who are not from Kashmir, outside Kashmir. People started looking, coming into my profile. That is what the dashboard showed me on Instagram. And what I shot on my mobile, on my camera, uh, it will take me some days to look into it. So I am just telling you, just making you aware of the fact of the thing that you carry everywhere is your phone, and how you can use it while reporting, while going everywhere, reaching the audience, reaching people out there who see your work. And then you can use also Canva is there, very easily you can use it. There are so many things that people do with Canva nowadays. And there is in video where where you will just give a command to this software, then you can just see how things work. But what I suggest you people is just try DaVinci and VN, and you will see how you will improve as a journalist, how you will improve as a multimedia journalist, and how you will be able to do things as a multimedia journalist wherever you go, whatever stories you report on. So I discussed about this editing panel because we have limited time. I cannot go into but I think I have spoken enough about the editing softwares. Now, most importantly, why MoJo? Why is it important? This is one of the most important question that people do ask. Even when I started trainings with Google, with YouTube, and I did some MoJo trainings, I try to understand that why MoJo? Why will not I buy a camera and do stories on camera? And so what you see at the right side, I think this face is known to everyone. Uh, if you will check the social media, she shot most of her stories that were coming from Gaza, from mobile, and as well as from camera. So when I saw this, she's carrying this mobile phone right there. We all know about what is happening around the world right now. We all know that, when we talk about Mojo, real time reporting, she's standing right there. I mean, you can see it right there, and reporting, real time reporting. Why? She is using her mobile phone to report something that has happened right there. Globally, when we see Abhi, presently we are see LA fires. Yesterday, some days back I saw a person who was driving a car, and there was fire all around, and he was shooting things on his phone. He was just making people aware what is happening in LA. So reporting on real time reporting, real time uploading photos, whatever is happening at that time, using your phone and just making people aware of what is happening. Then, second, moving to combating misinformation, where people, there are so many fake newses that alt newses, they try and upload the raw footage that ye hua tha, aise nahi hua tha, this person got killed, why this person got killed, there was this protest, or whatever things are happening. Raw, whatever raw footage we have, they always help, they always help us in dealing with misinformation that people spread around. Then cost effectiveness. I told you how Mojo is, is you can buy things with little money. You don't need heavy equipments and lot of money to buy to do things when it comes to Mojo. Then is adaptivity in sensitive or high risk situations. When I am been doing these Mojo trainings and learning more about mobile, there was this guy who said that there was some protest happening, and he was shooting it with mobile phone. When police came, he said that it was easy for me to blend in the crowd, and they just couldn't understand that I was clicking anything about the protest over there. And it decreases your risk. When you are when you are holding a camera, people do get conscious that, okay, fine, if some officials will see you, I am just sharing what I have experienced. I was covering a protest in Delhi, and whenever I was with camera, I would fear that, oh no, mera camera na toot jaye, and if something happens, if police will come, and police was already there. When police will come in action or something will happen, lathi charge. So I was always afraid for my life, for the equipment, as a photojournalist, and I would always think of all the risks before doing it. But believe me, when I went outside with a mobile phone, things got easy. I People didn't notice. People just thought that she has just come here, not presenting myself as somebody who is doing something, who is covering something, not making people notice you in wherever I was doing the stories. And the last point, that is human centric storytelling, where you are doing human centric stories. Something happened in Kashmir. I will just doing a local telling you guys about a local context. Something happened in Kashmir, or people from Kerala has joined here. So something happened in Kerala or Kashmir or anywhere on earth, in your region. So you are the person, the local language, you know what is happening, and just doing the things in your camera, and putting it right away, right there, doing a bit. You don't need some high end editing to do these kinds of things in day to day life, and people, believe me, people are doing it. So this is the just global relevance that I made you understand about Mojo, whether it is the LA fire, or whether it was the Ukraine war or Gaza conflict that is still happening. people are using a mobile phone to tell their stories, because everybody doesn't have a camera. So whatever things they have, they are just putting it out there. And that is what I'm trying to make you understand, what you can do as a professional with your camera. So now, moving to the third and the last aspect of this session, which is mojo and gender sensitive reporting. How we do stories, on sensitive topics, and using it with mojo. So, seeing this picture, what we can see is there is this woman who is, I will just give you the context of this photo that I clicked some years back. I went to this Rohingya refugee camp, which was in Delhi, and वहाँ आग लगी हुई थी, and इनका सारा सामान, whatever was there, it was all burned down to ashes. So I went there, and I started talking. I have been going there. Sometimes I used to go there with my camera, or sometimes with my phone. But mostly I used to go there with my camera initially. When I went there with the camera, initially they were not comfortable, believe me. They were not comfortable to even speak. When we do these kind of webinars where professionals are there, we ask people, whether you are comfortable in getting recorded or anything. These people, understanding the context, that why they were not comfortable in front of camera, because they don't have access to the gadgets, and that kind of they don't live in that kind of environment where they have literacy about the gadgets, about media, about what is happening, just fearing for their life there. So I started leaving everything behind and going there and just sitting and talking to them, and talking to them, and what is happening, what do they want from their lives. And some of them were hum wapas jana chahte hain, and some of them were we can't go back. We all know, we have all done those stories. They are there. Internet is full of those stories. But what else? I started sitting with them, and just talking about the camera and the phone thing. When I used to go with the camera, they got very conscious. They would not, they just put that dupatta on their face, and they would be like, नहीं नहीं बात करनी, कोई भी बात नहीं करनी कैमरा के सामने, डर लगता है. That is what they told me, that we are very much afraid to talk in front of camera. But when I realized that, when I started using, when I started taking mobile phone, they they got very comfortable. When I opened, we were just doing in the middle of conversation, and I started, दीदी एक फोटो ले लो, एक वीडियो ले लो इसका. अच्छा, मतलब दे gave me the consent. ठीक है, मतलब इन द मिडल ऑफ द कन्वर्सेशन आई एम ओपनिंग द, ये कर ले हम थोड़ा इसका वीडियो फोटो ले ले दीदी आपका, ऐसे करके. सो it made a huge difference. This photo also, I have not taken it from camera. I have taken it from a mobile phone. She was just, they were just trying to rebuild their lives. They got these tents, and they were just trying to rebuild their life after the fire. And she was just standing there. And I thought, why, this was a sensitive story, because we don't want to locate people. There is another kind of thing, giving location, giving the exact location, or showing faces of people who don't want to give consent to show their faces. So she was just standing there, and I could feel how she's trying to rebuild her life in a different country, where her things are gone, and now she's just pulling something in that tent. And I got this shot, and I clicked it right there. So, and it was all done with a mobile phone. And I literally believe that while reporting sensitive stories, mobile phone really helps. Now, talking about how mobile phone has helped me and how it has made things easier for me when we talk about Mojo. So, first and foremost, I told you already that, convenient. It is a very convenient equipment. You can carry, even if you are on holidays, wherever you are going, whether you are even climbing mountains, you can carry a phone as compared to carrying a big tripod or a camera. And, so I think it is a convenient equipment, and you can get an ease of movement. Ease of movement is also there while, whether you are doing some stories in protest, or whether you have to do, go somewhere where you have to climb. You have a phone, and there is an ease of movement for sure. Most importantly, that I discussed about is that, creating a less intimidating environment. People are not getting conscious, oh, ab kya hoga, ab kya kare. When I used to, when I used to carry my camera, even many people would tell me that, हमें वायरल नहीं होना है, हम हमारे को प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, हमारे को पुलिस उठा के ले जाएगी. But I think these things, I am not saying 100%, but yes, things get easy when we use a camera, when we use a phone instead of camera. Then just I told you, setting up an informal and a safe place for the people you are doing stories, you know while you are, whether you are talking to somebody, who doesn't want to be on camera, you are setting up and safe and informal place. It's not always about what I have learned in these years. You just cannot be vultures to just do your stories or nikal jao wahan se. We have to be ethically right. We have to, we have to think before doing things. We just don't have to be vultures and story karli consent mila nahi mila. But what makes us professional, what makes us professional is, being ethical, being, we have to follow ethics. And while doing stories, just build the trust. We all know about these things, we are all professionals here. And wahi trust we have to use while using Mojo. Wahi trust we have to use while forming that informal setup. You're just sitting, and सामने कोई तकिया है, आप बैठे हैं किसी के कमरे में. Somebody has given you access to their rooms, to their houses, and you are just sitting, and you can use a cushion as an object and put your mobile right there. You are using this small kind of tripod, you are not using a big, carrying a big you will find hundreds of tripods for just 300 rupees, and you are just putting it in a cushion. You are forming it in, कोई mic कुछ बड़ा setup नहीं हो रहा है, कोई lights नहीं आ रही है. I don't think so that those things make, while we are doing sensitive stories, those things make our people, participants, comfortable. And then moving to one-on-one approach is also there. People are talking, and आप conversation के बीच में मैंने जैसे आपको mention किया था कि can we take a shot, can I take a photograph, or you talking about this thing, later I can use this on a mobile. One-on-one approach, there are not thousands of people, or you know you are talking, just one-on-one approach, because that is what, when we are doing sensitive stories, I have seen people who are comfortable with you, even when parents are around, they are not comfortable, they will not talk. फिर I ask them, आप कहीं दूसरे कमरे में जाए, थोड़ा सा कुछ बात कर ले आपके बारे में, और क्या पसंद है आपको, खाने में क्या पसंद है, you know तो I usually start with this thing only, because तो and then most importantly, हमारी जो परेशानी अभी कही है, that lots of we want to back up our data, many things we want to back up, technology ke end pe, if we will see, so while using a mobile phone, I will rely on power bank, agar, because electricity is not there, my phone is running out of charge, and I will use the apps that are already downloaded on my phone. Nothing is getting, my phone is not getting hanged. I know that I have this app, and I will use it while going there, and cloud backup is there, it's right there, right away with a click. I don't need a full, all kind of equipments, laptop, and disks to back up. I will do it right there on my phone, backing everything on my phone, and then later I go home and check it. So this is it. Bye. So, just sharing some resources with you. Please go through these resources. I think whatever I have learned from these resources. I have also put the video editing links which will help you. These are how you can form the, mobile journalism kit, the gears that you will need. Just check the master classes also, because this guy has been doing mobile journalism since years. So, if you want to get into, I have shared resources, and these are very helpful resources which have helped me in these years, and I am sure that it will help you also. And I think, just a moment. I don't know, it's not. And this was again when I had gone to one of the Rohingya camps. You just see this is all the mobile phone setup that I'm carrying. I'm not carrying any big setup. That's it. I just carried this tripod, and I think that is it. I hope it was helpful to you. We can connect through Instagram and all. And at the end, I just want to say that all you need is a mobile phone. You don't need to, carry or get some heavy equipments. All you need is just a phone that is right there in your hands. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Seher, for sharing these useful tips and insights with us. I really found it useful the way you uh, uh, empowered at least me with these skills, which are especially these apps that we can like use handy. And I think one of the important learnings and takeaways from this session was the overall rise of this mobile journalism that has at least prompted a cultural shift within the journalistic practices, especially in global south countries, like how the newsrooms are enabling reporters to take on multiple roles, from gathering information to editing and publishing, and this all can happen, as you just said, by using our smartphones. So we can no longer say like, hey, I do not have interest in like mobile journalism. This is now becoming a part and parcel for all of us, even when we apply, when we have to submit our SOPs for big fellowships or awards or whatever, the different opportunities in journalism. We are being asked like, nowadays is a trend of like, if we do not have a website or a portfolio, we can just share our LinkedIn or other social media platforms. So this is so important, like what we have done even on reporting or post reporting experiences or insights, or sharing our stories. We no longer can just say that, hey, I do not need this. So yeah, thank you so much. This was really helpful to understand not just how we can, as if I am an amateur visual storyteller, then what can be the future directions for me to train myself, and sort of the kind of research opportunities or even the integration of AI, with so much of tech boom. And we all can just, as you said, download these apps without even paying for them, especially this Da Vinci wala. So yeah, thank you so much. The floor is all open for questions. Anyone who has faced some sort of any scenario that you can share helpful. I know we have Rihanna and Basira with us, who are, I would say, pro mobile MoJo journalists. So they can also just share some tips or any experiences. And I think let's start this conversation around our experiences as women journalists in reporting the kind of issues we are reporting or we want to report. Rihanna, are you there? Basira?
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. Do you want to share, Rehana, any tip or anything, any experiences, any insights on, since you have also
Mm-hmm.
received training on mobile journalism from a lot of, you know, institutions? That would be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sehar, so much for this wonderful presentation. So yeah, I have done a few Mojo trainings, and I was also in old news on an in old news fellowship. So I would share my experiences, what I learned there. So it's I don't know whether I should because it will take a lot of time. So just sharing a few things I learned from there.
Rehana, do you mind, like, if you can just turn on your camera, or that won't work
Oh,
well?
if I need to turn on my camera, I need to go in settings. I
Oh,
need to
yeah.
sign in and
No
all because
problem.
I just downloaded Zoom on my laptop. You know that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Please go
yeah.
ahead.
So it will take a lot of time. So one thing which I learned when I was an in Old News fellow for mobile journalism, we were taught there. So one thing was that how to make your mobile into that gadget which will help you like everywhere. So a lot of people are like so fearful when they use mobiles because I saw a lot of people there who were like if we use a mobile, what about the quality of the videos that we are taking, and what if mobile, sometimes people don't know how to use tripods and all. So I think that's also important, the kind of tripods people use, the kind of placements they do, where they place their tripods, and how they take the scenes, or how they visualize the scenes, and how do they record. When I was the fellow, one thing I found was a bit which I learned there. I was doing a story on Char Lake, you might be knowing.
Yeah.
So I was in that boat, the wooden boat, and we were traveling, and I had my tripod with me. So the boat would sometimes go right here, right there, and when I came home, I saw a lot of visuals. They had a lot of movement, and that's one thing I learned there. So next day I had to go there again and place my tripod in a different direction and hold it very steady. And I had to go there again. It was difficult for me to go there because it's a area which is not familiar with me. So that was one thing I learned there. And when I reached home next day, yes, the visuals were great. So I think that's we need to try again and again. If once the visual doesn't come right, you can always go yes, but there are some stories where you can't go again and again, and you won't get people. So for that you need a lot of preparation and all. Just do that. And yes, Seher talked about VN and all. I have found VN so useful for me, and it's always on my phone, and it's the only editing thing on my mobile right now. And DaVinci I have used very less because I use Premiere Pro. So as per Seher's recommendation, we used. I'll now just turn there. So yeah, these are just a few tips. And yes, I think there's one software. I don't know if people have used it or not, but it's sort of paid. So it's Filmic Pro. So I used to like shoot videos with it. It's on mobile, and it used to give a lot of like nice features and all. And that was one thing. And yes, Canva is a bit, I think, basic now.
Yeah.
So for me, you just use it for like basic things and all. But there's a lot which you can do on Mojo, a lot on your phone. It's just a mini thing. You don't need anything else, a big camera and all. Just carry it around. Don't worry about the quality and all. So it's always great that, you know, the way you shoot things, the way you visualize things. You don't need an iPhone 16 or something to shoot videos, because I have seen a lot of people, what they say is that I have an Android phone. I don't know whether the visuals will come great or not. So the other person has an iPhone. Obviously, the visuals will come great. So people don't need to think about that. So yeah, go out, shoot, and I would say do a lot of practice. Do a lot of practice. Once you're out, shoot videos, shoot photographs, so everything comes out great later.
Thank you so much, Rehana. So, Seher, Najee is asking a question, which is tripod more effective than the gimbal, especially when doing video?
Okay. So, Nadia, I just want to tell you that, I have been using gimbal also, and I have been using tripod also. So, what I feel is it depends on the story, and it depends on the situation, and depends on the places that you are doing you are going to. For example, if you, Nadia, if you are going, and you are doing a story, you have to meet this woman in some village, and you have to sit, you don't have to go around so much, and you don't have to You just have to do a simple interview, for example, just taking a small example. You can use a simple tripod. You don't need to have a gimbal for that. You know, now you are doing something. For example, you have been given an assignment to capture the essence of some place. You have, traveled somewhere. For example, in coming days, maybe you are going to Guwahati. You have to cover the essence. I will give you an assignment. Najia, can you just tell me what are the things that you have seen in Guwahati? Some, the market, the people, the places, going in the cruise or wherever. So at that point of time, definitely, why not to use gimbal? Because it gives you certain kind of zoom in, zoom outs, and your video looks better basically. So depends on situation to situation, the things that you are doing. So you can use both of the things depending upon the story you are doing and the visuals you have decided upon.
Yeah. Basira, do you also want to share any experience or anyone else? Mm. If we do not have any other questions, then maybe we can. I3, I don't know, is she there or not? Then, if we do not have any further questions, we can just wrap up the conversation. And I think one of the key takeaways from this session is like overall mobile journalism allows us as journalists to have for this to have the greater what we call geographical and physical accessibility compared to traditional media formats. As we see that logistically, sometimes as Rehana and Sehar was saying, it is very difficult for larger crews to, you know, access certain stories, which is like, and having mobile in your hands can lead to like have less intimidating and have more genuine experiences. But yeah, then there are some ethical challenge, and as Rehana was also saying, there are the problem with the quality of the images or the visuals we produce. But that's something that comes with even that can come those kinds of challenges can come up with even our the kind of DSLRs or other technical equipments that we use, or even the lighting, like reporting or shooting on low light conditions. But overall mobile journalism is something that we all as journalists can think about and at least train ourselves. And yeah, that's the hope. And let's try to keep this conversation going, because I know in this 1 hour of webinar we just tried to just touch base, sort of introduce all of each of us to mobile journalism. And in the near future we'll be hoping to to get it to the next level of intermediate and then other levels as we move on. But today's session was just to give an insight and covering that basic level of understanding of the
Exactly.
how mobile journalism can help us to at least work and at least shoot and really think about think about doing our stories visually. Yeah, that's it.
Najia wants to ask something. She has just asked me that what is the other language,
Hmm,
which other language you learn.
yeah.
So Nadia, basically, I had learned Urdu till 10th class. So I have just moved to Urdu journalism also. I'm trying to do stories in Urdu also. So Urdu is the language that I am just started. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for this wonderful session. And thank you so much, Seher. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Subscribe for more content.